I'm back, I'm biased, I'm bothered, and I am always unfiltered. If you are easily offended, this is not the place for you. But you still haven't managed to worthy up? Not to worry, let's get into this mess. Alright, lads, we are back with Sister Wives, season 20, episode 14, and we are on the final leg of the apology tour. Now, we're with Kody in a park. Of course, he is in a white mark, but for some reason, he has a suit jacket on with a pair of jeans. Now, he is in a park, right? I don't know why he's not wearing a jumper or like just a shirt or something, but he went all formal, right, with the suit jacket. Now, he's talking to the camera and he's saying that he's in a very strange mood today. I thought that because of your hair, Kody. Jeepers, you're looking very dishevelled. I love to see it though. Anyway, he's just standing around like a plank. He's just waiting for Meri. Now, I believe this is a bit of a power move because you remember he left Meri waiting on Coyote Pass? Yeah, she's doing the same thing back to him. But he's very surprised that Meri is even willing to meet up with him because they have just been talking through their liars. Now, they made an agreement when Meri was moving that they were going to be kind, but now her friends had just been trashing him. We know, Kody, because we follow them online. Anyway, apparently Kody rang this woman and he says to Meri, tell your friends to shut their mouths. I know damn well that he was talking about Jen. Now, for some reason, Meri just took it personally. Of course she took it personally. Jen is our best friend. So Meri finally arrives, right? But too bad, so sad. We're heading off to North Carolina to Maddie and Janelle. So Janelle is telling Maddie that she's heading off to get her spiritual divorce. Maddie hates this idea. She doesn't like polygamy at all. She thinks it's awful. And she doesn't want Janelle anywhere near it. But Janelle does want this divorce because to her, the marriage was real. I understand that. Like to her, she made a commitment to God and, she wants to get all of that sorted out. She wants to make sure that Kody Brown is not going to be anywhere near her planet. I don't know how that works. Does she get a planet now? I hope she does and I hope it's great. But anyway, she's saying that even if the people say no to her, she is just going to consider herself divorced. Now, Janelle told Kody that she is getting a divorce, and apparently he doesn't care. I thought, is this just a storyline? Because Kody says that he's not even tracking it. I thought, why is he not tracking it? Like, he was so upset about Meri getting it. He feckin' hates Meri, but he was so upset about her getting it, but he doesn't seem to care about Janelle getting it. I don't know, that just didn't make any sense to me. Do you know what else didn't make sense to me? Kody Brown says that in his religion he can't just ask for a divorce. I don't believe that's true. Like, if one of the OGs had pulled a Lorraine Bobba on him, I think he could go to the people and say, look what my wife is after doing to me. I reckon he could get a divorce. Anyway, now we're in Cedar City, Utah with Meri. I do have to say, Meri is looking gorgeous here. She really is. Her skin is glowing. Her smile is beautiful. Awful t-shirt, by the way. Looks fucking terrible. Nice pair of sunglasses, though. Anyway, she has this huge drink with her. I was wondering, was she just sitting in McDonald's knowing that he was in the park waiting for her? I hope that she was. Now, Kody says immediately to Meri, he has nothing but goodwill. I thought, all right, let's see how this is going to go. So he's saying, will we have a hug or a handshake? Now, I'm going to go for a hug, okay? Because I'm going to know that he feels uncomfortable. So I will really want to solidify the awkwardness in this situation. So I would have gone for the hug as well, which is what Meri did. Anyway, they're talking about Coyote Pass, right? And she says, Kody, you were just ignoring me and I was trying to make eye contact with you. Now, I wouldn't have known that, okay? Like, if somebody is standing there beside me, unless they say to me, like, we're talking, we're having a conversation, I'm not going to know what to do. But then again, she's not my wife. That was her husband, so I could understand where she's coming from. I'm just looking at this park, right? The jacket, he's so formal. He looks so stupid, he really does. Anyway, Kody says to her, how are you? And she says, I'm thriving. That's what she says to him. She says, I'm thriving. So he says, what are you up to? And Meri says, hang on, Kody. I'm not telling you my deep, dark secrets. I'm not telling you what I'm doing with Amber when I'm home in the B&B. The last bit was implied, by the way. Anyway, we hear from Robin, right? Now, Robin says that Kody didn't used to talk to her about the other relationships with the wives, but now he's gonna tell her everything so she doesn't need to be there. I thought, hang on a second, Robin. What you mean he didn't tell you about the other wives? 'Cause you told us that the other wives were heifers. They all had stretch marks and weight gain, and they were lucky that Kody even basically said hello to them. And also, you told Christine, like, why are you not giving Kody a massage? God love him, he needs an hour massage before the chap can get it up. You told her that, so obviously he did tell you everything about the relationship. Anyway, Kody is sitting in kind of a prayer motion he has going on. I think he's psyching himself up for this apology with Meri. I was also wondering, did he have a few beers or something? I'd need a hell of a lot if I was doing this, especially if I was doing it on camera. So Mary says that she's not even sure like what they're doing because the last few interactions were just awful, like they were just awful. But Kody is smiling and he says to Mary, you got your fair share of Coyote Pass, and he reckons that she should be very happy with that. I thought, for God's sake, that's the least she should get. Like, she paid for that land. Obviously, she wants to get her fair share of it. Now, then Kody is talking about water under the bridge, right? And he doesn't want to be talking about any of that. But he is going to apologise and he wants for Mary to have a happy, wonderful life. And Mary says, I already have a happy, wonderful life, Kody Brown. I have Amber at home and I have Rod to try out every now and again in front of the camera. Then he said that he feels happy for Mary, and Mary says, don't feel anything for me, Kody. I am here for Petty Mary. I'm loving this pettiness. So he wants her to move on. And she said, dude, I have moved on. Oh, but then he brings up our friends, right? She's saying, don't. Do not talk about my friends. But he's interrupting her. And Mary says, you are not going to shut me down anymore. Oh, God. Do you know what? I want to give the woman a round of applause. I was so delighted to hear her say this to this guy. Anyway, Kody is telling us that he's triggered, but he is going to apologize again. Now, Mary tells us that, look, if Curly Sue starts bitching about my friends, I am out. I am gone from this conversation. Oh, it's getting very heated, lads. Not to worry though, it's TLC. So they brought us back over to Salt Lake City to David and Christine, and we're in their basement talking about fixing it up. I don't know why. I believe David is in construction, so like, sure, sort this shit out. Anyway, Christine is talking about the fact that in Lehigh she was a basement wife. Now, Mary was above her, and apparently she could hear everything. I want to know more about this because I imagine Mary is the type of person she's gonna bang really, really loudly, especially if she's pissed off at you. Oh, God, I would have loved all of that cotton camera. Anyway, Mary and Janelle, they're agreeing that in polygamy, there usually is a basement wife. Now, Robin disagrees with this, of course, but like, how the hell would she know? She never lived in Lehigh. She never even lived with this family. She never even lived polygamy. She's no feckin' idea. Anyway, back to the apology, right? Mary is saying, you're not going to shut me down anymore. And Kody Brown is saying to us that it's a cruel irony because all the wives agree that Mary has never been silenced. I thought you wanted this woman to sign an NDA. That's pretty much silencing her. So now Kody is apologising for his feelings towards Mary friends. But Mary is saying you don't have to apologise. So Kody, like, he's trying to get moving with this apology and he's saying that these two are just so toxic. Now Mary wants an apology for Kody being toxic to her. These two are so alike, right? They're kind of like brother and sister. So Kody is apologising for being toxic. Then he just throws out another apology and he also throws out one I'm sorry and another nothing but goodwill, Mary. So Kody says that he doesn't want to drag the furniture down the river. I thought, what the hell is this man talking about? Then Mary says that she didn't bring any furniture. Do you know what? I'd have brought that feckin' wet bar. 8 grand she paid for that. Now she has to explain the joke, right? And she's telling him that she's hella funny and hella hilarious. So Kody is now apologising for not finding her hella hilarious. I nearly spit out my cafe au lait when I was watching this. Oh, anyway. Mary says that she's tried to be kind from the beginning of the end of their relationship, so Cody is now apologizing for not seeing Mary's kindness. And Mary tells him to stop apologizing because he sounds like an idiot. So Cody wants to know if she's triggered. I was breaking my heart laughing through this. These two, their relationship is just like a brother and sister. So Cody is telling us that he has to keep going with his apology, even though he is triggered. But regardless of what Mary says, even if she blames him on doing something that he didn't do, he is gonna apologize. Then I got very distracted by Mary's earlobes. I don't know why I've never noticed them before, and I don't know why I even noticed them now, but I couldn't stop staring at them. I don't know, maybe it was all the apologies. I couldn't keep up with everything. Also, just Cody's hair going on. It was very hard to concentrate. Anyway, so we get a rundown of all of Cody's apologies. So Mary gets an apology for Cody saying that he didn't love her. But I also noticed that he's not saying I did actually love you though. Like he didn't say that. So she gets another apology for Cody being toxic during the breakup. Then she gets another apology for Cody not being there for her in Vegas. Now she gets another apology for Cody not being there during the dark times. I'm telling you, he's talking about Samuel Jacob Cooper, right? And Mary says, the dark times were because you weren't there. You were over banging Birdie's nest, Cody Brown. And he left me all on my own with me wet bar. Then Cody is saying, look, I'm not trying to make us get back together in any way. And Mary goes full on Taylor Swift, right? And she says, we're never, ever, ever getting back together. I hope that she had Jen on loudspeaker. I hope Jen was able to hear all of this. Anyway, Mary is telling us she moved on. We know Mary. We've met Amber. Oh, I don't even like Amber, to be honest with you. Now, Mary says that she's not even sure if Cody is being genuine. But then we get Cody again saying nothing but goodwill, Mary, nothing but goodwill. Then I got really confused, right? Because these two are going back and forth about apologising. Cody says he doesn't want to be taking the luggage out of the river. I have no idea. I cannot follow what these two are talking about. Now, Mary tells us that the apology is basically just for Cody. I thought, no, it's not. This is for PR. So then we hear the story again of Cody saying how if a wife wanted to leave, he'd buy them a house down the street and pay child support. I thought truly Wooly Brown wants a word with you because she is living in our new daddy's house. She's living over there with David Wooly Brown. Also, like he had no money. How would he have ever bought a house? He's full of shite like he's always been, but now he says that he's ashamed because during the divorce process, he basically turned into a prick. Anyway, we are now back with Christine and David. So, of course, we're talking about polygamy again. So, we find out that sometimes there's one wife who's in charge, basically. And David is saying to Christine, whose fault is that? And Christine says, it's the wife's fault. And David says, no, it's not. It's the man's fault. I thought, well, why the hell did you ask her, David? Like, that's her opinion, and she's the one who lived it, you know? So we're hearing from Christine, and apparently, as soon as she married Cody, he told her how he liked how Mary did things. I thought, oh, God. He liked how Mary did the cooking and the cleaning and how she dressed. I wouldn't be able for any of that. I wouldn't. But according to Christine, because Mary was the legal wife, she had more opportunities to be with Cody, basically. And Christine felt like, they were just more important than her. So we're hearing from Mary. Now, Mary says that pre-Robin, Cody rotated his affection and his attention. I'm not double dipping with nobody. I did not want any part of this. But apparently he was fair with all of that, all of his time, all of his parts, right? He was fair with everything until that homewrecker came in and destroyed everything. I was just reading between the lines, but that's basically what the woman said. So anyway, David and Christine are saying that the first wife in polygamy, like they get everything, they get the huge wedding, and then the other wives have to dress in them god awful sacks. But he says like the other wives, they're kind of more like a funeral, and that they have been to polygamy weddings. But they also says that in Mexico they live polygamy just fine. I thought get cameras on that because we know Janelle is out, right? We know that she's gone. Get TLC to get camera crews on these Mexican people. So Christine says that she knew she'd have to marry somebody who had converted because basically she is related to everybody, but it didn't do her any good, right? Because she ended up marrying Kody, and apparently he's her cousin. He's her third cousin once removed. I don't understand any of that. But Janelle is saying it's grand, like they're only related, but very distantly. It's only a little bit related. I thought Janelle, you can't fucking talk. You married your brother. Oh, I do love the family read though. So then we hear from Kody, and he says that he never wanted a pecking order. I thought, well, why the hell did you tell Christine that you loved how Meri did all the things? But back down when they all lived together, he just says to them, look, women, I'm going out to do manly things like work. So you sort all of this stuff out. Because he had to say that he had to go and pay the mortgage. I thought, excuse me. Excuse me. Janelle Brown paid that mortgage. And by the way, all the OG wives work. Christian had a feckin' paper round for God's sake. He wasn't the one paid that mortgage. Oh, back to the apology. The sun is just beaming down on the noggin. Do you know what? I love this set, and I really do. I even love the jacket. Like, they're not even going out for dinner, right? These two are just sitting in the park. I wonder, was he afraid to like go out for dinner with her? Again, I get very confused, right? Because Mary knows that Kody thinks her and her friends are bitches, but it doesn't matter to Kody that Mary thinks that. I thought, what the hell are these two talking about? But then Kody says that his opinion of Meri and her friends is none of Mary's business. I thought, why are you even saying that? Like, why are you telling them to shut up if you know it's none of your business? So these two are arguing, but they do agree on the fact that they can't really get on. And then Kody is going on about luggage in the river. I can't follow. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. But we do get another apology from Kody. And he says that Mary is welcome to apologize to him. I'm telling you, I'd have flipped that feckin' table over. She's a much better woman than me, but look, she's just ignoring him, okay? And then we get more arguing. Now, he wants Mary's friends to keep their opinions of him to themselves because he reckons that they don't know him. But Mary snaps back, right? And Mary says they've known you for years, Kody. They know that you're an awful gobshite. So Kody tells us basically that he has failed his apology mission because he wasn't in a benevolent state. I want to hear what the Foxy Billies have to say about this. Oh, anyway, Mary says that she doesn't wish the past was any different because they do have a beautiful family. I completely agree with her here, but I was also wondering who out of the family talks to Mary and who out of the family talks to Kody. Oh God, then Mary is bringing up the kids, right? And Kody says, let's not talk about them brats. Now, he's using his new word of the day, but Mary doesn't understand, like, what he's trying to say. But basically, he's saying to her, it's not allowed, right? We're not to be talking about them damn kids, Mary. Keep your mouth shut about them. Now, he says that he has been working on his relationship with the kids. I thought, Leon Brown, we need you. Your father is talking a whole lot of bollocks again. So Kody wants the apology to be about Mary, but he knows it's actually about him. She knows it too. So then he has to say something, right? So he says, actually, it's between him and God. Like, you can't argue with that. You can't argue with somebody's relationship with God, you know? Of course he was going to throw that in there. But then he says, it has been a wonderful, fascinating life experience. I telling you, I nearly fucking choked because that's exactly what he says to Christine. Now Kody says that he has to piss really badly, so the apology is basically over. But we do get another incredibly awkward hug. Oh God, I love an awkward hug between two uncomfortable people. It always cheers me up a heck of a lot. But Kody says that he's bursting to go to the toilet and he says that he has to run. And Mary says, you're old, I hope you don't piss everywhere. And Kody says, I'm not that old. And she tells him, I know your birthday. I thought, oh, what the hell does that mean? What is he lying about? Now, Mary says that she doesn't know how to take all of this and everything that has happened, but basically, it is not going to affect her. I beg to differ. I think that this has affected her a lot. But you know what? She's doing a great job of putting on an act like that she doesn't care. Anyway, we're over with Janelle. So she's heading off for her divorce, but she also tells us that they haven't been part of the church For 15 years. I thought, but that is when the show started. Like, these people have always been going on about this religion. They're not even part of the fucking church. Now, she's nervous, okay? Because she's going to have to explain to the priest or the deacon or the bishop. I don't know their religious people, right? She's going to have to explain to one of the religious people that Kody is an absolute another loser. He's also a piece of shit father. I think she's going to be grand. I think these people are going to say, we know, Janelle, we were waiting for you. Then we see Meri and Janelle Brown just sitting having a chat. Who would have thought we were ever going to see this? And we also see Kody and Robin scrambling for the storyline, falling off quads. I thought that's crap. I already seen you falling off a dirt bike. Go and fall off a horse or something. That will entertain me a bit more. Oh, anyway, that is our recap. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you did, go ahead and hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great day. And remember, I love you a long time.